All right, what's going on, everybody? Um, Today we are going to be, I'm going to be showing you guys how I go about building a deck. As you've seen, I have built, gains didn't turn out too well, just because there's a lot of cards nowadays that have like exile on them. So, and I didn't realize that indestructible, basically is negated by exile. So either way, what I'm going to be showing you today actually works out perfectly because this was kind of already the plan that I had is to cast black or green spells, but is to make a black and green deck. So the way that I first start about going into this, go to not packs, decks, create a new one, and what I recommend doing right off the bat with any deck is picking a card or cards that you want to base the whole deck around, right? So just taking a bit to go over here. I know from uh my previous deck, that this Praetor that's like a very high cost forest creature. Not very, I'd say pretty high cost forest creature. That I'm almost certain he's one of the more broke creatures in the game. Um, So what I'm gonna do is I have some of these, so I'm just gonna go ahead and craft these. Mm, Actually, I'll start off with just one of them in the deck for now. And then I also know that there is a vampire creature that I want to use. But basically, what this guy does is, so I'll kind of go back. What this guy does, he's trample haste. He's a 6/6, good by himself, right? Kind of crazy. Then he has a ability on him. If you would put one or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice that many of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead. And if an opponent would do that, then you take it in half, right? So then there is a vampire, and this is the card that I want to base this entire deck around. This card, and then since I'm gonna make it a double card or a double black and red deck, or a black and green deck, then I want to pick one high cost um, black card that I want to build the deck around. And know it's in here somewhere. I think it's a 5 cost card. Um, let's see, where is it? This guy right here. So, I'm gonna put 4 of these in the deck. So the only reason I'm not gonna put more of him in there is right now is because he's a legendary, so I can only ever have one of them on the field at a time. I guess it doesn't hurt to have multiple, like more. That way you increase your chances of getting it. So I might add one or two, but I also don't have that many mythic like things. So for now, we're gonna go with this. But as you can see, it wants you to have about 40%, which is about 24 in a 60 card deck. Once you have about 24 lands. So what I'm going to do right now, after I got the cards in that I want to build the deck around, and basically my idea here is every time this guy deals damage, I put that many +1/+1 counters on him, right? Which, so if I attack once with a flying 4/4, he turns into an 8/8. If I also have this guy down, he would now first attack become a 12/12. Next turn, he's a uh, fucking 36/36, I think. quick math. So he's nuts in two attacks if I also had this guy down. That's kind of the whole premise behind this deck. So whatever deck that it is that you're coming up with, get a card that you want to build it around, or two if it's multicolored, and then get your manas right. So I'm gonna go and scroll all the way over here to the mana section. I like this card, so I'm gonna do 4 of those, and then I'm gonna take out. So let's see, 12. That's 20. So that would be 24. So yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna leave all this, and then I'll craft it all at the end. Another thing that I would recommend is just using the starter decks for a little bit until you get enough cards to like make a full deck. I feel like that's also really important. Okay, but then now I know of another card, and to get a little bit of experience into like what cards there are out there. So now I think there's another 2-cost green card that I want to put in this deck and kind of build around to where I can kind of stall until this guy comes out, but also possibly win the game if they don't stop it fast enough, right? So let's see, where is it at? It is in Kaldheim. It's in this one. I'm pretty sure it's a 2-cost card. Let's go here. I might not have any of them. I think he is a legendary. Yeah, Finn the Fangbearer. So whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals combat damage to a player, that player gets 2 poison counters. So, and that's just a rare card. So we're going to go ahead and craft that right now. And we're going to, he's gone. Oh, it's because I turned this off and he's right here. So we're going to put 4 of those in. And he has Death Touch. Now this card is nuts because whenever they attack, it puts 2 poison counters on them. If I have this guy out and this guy, that's 4 poison counters per attacker, and you only have to have 10 to win the game. So that's kind of what I'm going with right now. And then now I'm going to start looking at lower cost cards. I'm just going to go ahead and hit craft all. All right. I'm now going to go look for lower cost cards that also have Death Touch on them. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to do Death Touch. All right. So we want it gains Death Touch until end of turn. Okay, so that could be pretty good. We'll kind of keep that in the back pocket. I'll just go ahead and add that. Turn this on. Okay, let's see. Is there any low cost cards that have Death Touch? Okay, so that's an alchemy card. I don't think I can use that in the standard thing. Let's see here. This guy's a 2-cost card. Okay, so he's a mythic. I don't know if I want to use him just yet. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile 2 cards from your graveyard. If you can't, sacrifice and draw. Okay. Alright, so there's not a lot of super low cost cards that have Death Touch. This is as long as I control another rogue. There's not another rogue that's low. So I might have to go up and let's see if there's any cost cards that have Death Touch. So this guy, we are going to craft 4 of those. Okay. I could do 4 of these as well, but this guy's a 1/2. I do have it clicked on standard, so these guys must be able to be played. Let's see, go back to this one. Yep. I don't know why it's having me drag all of these. So yeah, I think I do leave that in. That's a decent artifact to have. And then I feel like this one having Menace could work out really well because I could basically, but it's rare. All right, let's get rid of Death Touch now and just look at low cost. So see, this is going to be a vampire. Um, all right. So yeah, I think we do Death Touch still. Just because we have 4 1-cost cards that are green, 4 2-cost cards that are green, and then this. So I think we can kind of slide in and do yeah, let's do this guy, and I'll just craft 4 of them. Okay. So now he's a 2-cost. This one has Menace right off the bat, so we're gonna craft that. And we're gonna put that in here. Reaper's Talisman allows me to kind of stray away from it, so let's see if we can find. So we have a 2. Let's do this one. Let's exploit. When this creature enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice a creature. I don't necessarily want to do that. He's a 3/2. This one has flying and death touch, so we're gonna craft those. Put them in. All right, so this is and then we're gonna craft all. So I have 53 cards in here, so I might have to take out some of these. Like we might take out a couple of these here or there, so that we can put an instance. So now we're gonna look for instants that allow me to kind of go crazy. And what we're gonna do here is do those. Okay. And we can get rid of the Death Touch one. Alright, so target player reveals their hand, you choose a non-land card from it. Alright, that's not crazy, that's not too great. Sacrifice an artifact or creature, draw a card. Um, destroy target creature or planeswalker with mana value 2 or less. If this spell was kicked, instead destroy. Okay, so that's pretty good. Enchant artifact or creature as long as enchanted permanent. So the thing is all of our cards have death touch, right? So he's not going to be trying to like attacking my creatures too much. So what I could do is do this. We'll craft one. All right, and then we'll bring these over here. 'Cause I feel like this is a pretty good card. Turn target card from your graveyard to your hand. If the spell was kicked, instead return 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, so this could help me if like he has a bunch of destroy target creature cards. So what I'm gonna do is put these in here. All right, so that makes it a 60 card deck. 61 card deck actually, and I haven't put in any green instants. So let's go ahead and actually we're gonna get rid of this. Where'd it go? Oh, it took them all out. Okay. We're gonna put 2 of these. And we'll put 3 in because we have 3. And I'm not making. You lose 2 life until. Okay, so that's fine. This allows me to put death touch on people, which is perfect. And obviously, it's gonna take a little bit of tweaking. Like you're not ever gonna have a deck perfect. The Eater deck that I made was not good starting out. Okay. Let's go to green. All right. Do kind of like this card. Let's take out. Oh, I didn't want to take out all 4 of those. All right, let's turn this off. Where did they go? Where did it? Should be somewhere in here. Oh, it is. Okay, so now we are going to put that guy back in the deck if I find him here. There he is. Oh, he's already in there. Which one did I take out then? I only wanted to take out 2 of whatever it was. Oh, it was the 2/3 guy. That costed 2 or 3. This guy. All right, we'll put 2 of those in. We'll take out. So we've got this, which is pretty good. We will take that down to 2 because I think later in the game, yeah, later in the game I won't need that. Let's get these green spells in there that I want. Okay, so low cost green spells. And my enchantments and stuff that I like are all pretty low cost. So let's see here. let's do... So that guy seems pretty good. I feel like that actually goes well with the deck more so than, say, eh, we'll leave it in there. So there's a 1-cost spell around here that I want. There it is, Snakeskin Veil. So I'm going to put 4 of those in. Now, this allows me to not only put a +1/+1 counter on them, but it allows me to give them hexproof, which stops people from targeting them with damage. Alright, so now we're at a 60 card deck. 2 of those. Okay, that one's good. This one allows me to equip it to a person and give it death touch. This one is death touch. This one lets me give hexproof. This one has death touch, death touch, death touch, flying, trample haste. So these 2 are kind of like the late game ultra combo kind of thing. What I am going to do is we're gonna take out we're gonna take out 2 of those. Oh, it got rid of all of them. Where did you get off to? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Yeah. Take out 2 of those. I don't know how I'm down to 5 now. Okay, well. Destroy target non-land permanent and opponent controls. Search your library for a force card, put it into the battlefield. Creatures you control gain death touch until end of turn. So this is actually really good. So this also gives me death touch. Well, let's take this out for now. And we'll look for a green spell that works with this deck. Because I need more green spells. I'm not super being... So target creature controls, put a plus for each creature in your party. Okay, we got more death touch. Let's do... Hmm. Alright, so let's do this one. Because I feel like that's pretty good. As far as that. So it's a pretty low cost deck, and a lot of it has to do with getting in death touch creatures. But as you can see, Hit done here. Oh, I need to craft all. Cancel, craft all. Finish deck. Alright, done. And we'll name it Poison. Ooh. We'll just name it Poison. Or no, we'll name it Toxic. Better. More fitting. Okay, so as you can see there, I did pick a couple cards or a card that you want to build the entire deck around. If you're doing multiple colors of mana, so like 2, I would pick like 2 cards that synergize pretty well with each other, build the deck around those. Or pick them, get them into the deck, then start putting in mana. It seems to auto do it on this, but it's typically like 24 mana is like a good spot. Then you're going to want to go through and pick cards that go with their synergy, but also can kind of synergize together without them. So the poison counter guy that I had works with the overall like 6/6 trample guy that I have to allow more poison counters on them. But even without that, the rest of the deck synergizes with that one card that puts poison counters on them with Death Touch, right? So you want to have a synergy at the lower levels and at the higher levels to where you're not like sitting there this whole game waiting for that one card. You have a couple, a little bit of synergy at the lower levels. Then you want to go through and pick instants and sorcery cards that help out those cards stay in the game, get stronger, whatever it may be, however your deck is working, but you need to put them in. You might have to take out a couple creatures and put in more sorcery cards. I like to have probably, if I'm running a 4-color deck, 2 of each, like um, 2 different green sorcery cards and 2 different swamp sorcery cards, which I did in this one. I may have even added more because there was like I need to have Death Touch going on all of this, and there wasn't too many swamp creatures that had Death Touch, and I was kind of surprised by that. But either way, build up your 60 card deck using kind of that method, and then go into play. What I'm gonna do here is I'm going to go into play, but I'm not gonna do ranked for this one. I'm going to do, this is all the events. I'll do standard play, unranked. We'll select toxic and just kind of brawl. What is brawl? Okay, so that could be pretty too. But we're gonna do this one. We're gonna select toxic, and we're gonna get into it. Your deck is not gonna be perfect right off the bat, right? I know what a lot of people do is they go in and they import cards, they download decks, uh, or they just go on, they see what their favorite YouTuber's doing, and they just build the exact same deck. I feel like that is ruining the competitive play in this game because everybody just runs the same deck, or not the competitive, the casual play in this game because everybody just runs the same deck. I don't know how many times I've been killed by the exact same heal deck over and over again, and it's kind of frustrating. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play this to get this 1/1 out. Gains life. All right, we're gonna do this. We are going to get out this one. Do 1 damage. Then this next time I'm going to play him and start getting poison counters on this. So this is going to happen pretty fast here. Hopefully. He's probably going to try to get rid of this guy immediately, if he can. Oh, he didn't get it. That's tough. Alright. Let's see. Pay 1 life, create a treasure token. Alright, so we're going to do this. Alright, and then we are going to go next to combat, and we're going to attack. So as you can see here, very quickly, he's already at 6. He lets me get 1 more attack off without anything to block it, and this is over for him. And he already forfeited. That's a good game. And then let's say they do manage to kind of keep you at bay. eventually you're going to get out those higher cost cards that make the deck just insane. Like if I could get out that 4/4 flying with ward on it later into the game, where the guy can't discard a card every time he's trying to, destroy target creature. If he even makes it there, you know, he becomes an 8/8. So now that's going to be the focus of his attention. Then you start building the synergy of the death touches. Like that's nuts. So all of that to say, this is how I go about building decks. I hope it helps you in the long run. I would hope that people, and I think this makes the game more fun, is building a deck, seeing how it works. It's not going to be perfect the first time. Like that worked out because that guy didn't get a lot of creatures out right off the bat, right? I might have to go back and take out some of the instants or sorcery cards and swap them out for something that maybe plays more to the death touch synergy than trying to keep cards into the game, right? But I think building your own deck in this game makes it way more fun. And I hope that this video has helped you kind of see my mindset when I'm going into it and when I'm building a deck. That way you can take it, you can make your own deck, you can find cards that you like because there's so many different cards in this deck. Um, and it doesn't even have to, the cards that you build your whole deck around doesn't even have to be high cost cards. That's just how I like to play. But you get like people build heal decks around just 2 cost cards that when you heal you get +1/+1 counters, right? And that's the whole deck. You put a bunch of those different cards in your deck and then you just heal a bunch and it goes nuts. Um, and even a whole death touch deck, I don't think that would be bad at all. Like that killed him so fast that he had no time to get out good cards, uh, really at all. So kind of keep that in mind when you're building a deck. It doesn't have to be, what I just did, right? You can do whatever you want to do. Whatever makes you have fun in this game, you can do. But that is going to do it for this episode. I think it accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. It showed me using the deck that I made, Toxic. I'll probably be using this more in the future because I think this deck could be really good, but I might have to tweak it a little bit. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if it helped you out, or yeah, showed you anything. And I'll see you next time. Peace.